So, guess who's hyperfixated on the blue hedgehog again? At the time of recording this, I just got seen Sonic 2 in theaters like an hour ago, and I immediately had to make a video to talk about it because holy crap, I knew I was going to like this movie, but as a big Sonic fan, my expectations were beyond surpassed. This movie was so good. And for those that haven't seen it yet, don't worry, there won't be any major spoilers. So I like the first Sonic movie a lot, but I can acknowledge that for the most part, it felt like a typical buddy cop animated kids film that just so happened to have Sonic the Hedgehog in it. But Sonic 2 is a Sonic movie through and through, and you can feel that so much of this movie was made specifically for fans of the series. And the movie doesn't waste any time getting to the stuff that fans actually want to see. Within the first 15 minutes or so of the movie, Sonic's human friends are essentially written out of the film. They're not completely absent from the entire movie, but from the get-go, you can tell that unlike the first film, they are nowhere near the focus. While they can be fun, and they are funnier in this movie than they were in the first, no one is going into this movie primarily wanting to see Sonic's buddy cop friend and his wife. They want to see Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman, and the movie does not make you wait to get to that, which is so appreciated. What I love most about this movie, though, is that it really feels like a return to form for these characters. The story draws a lot of inspiration from the plot of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and with that, the writers really went back to highlight what made these characters so lovable in the first place, specifically with Tails and Knuckles. A lot of people, myself included, have been pretty upset with the more modern interpretations of these characters in more recent Sonic games and media, but this movie 100% understands what made these characters so appealing in the first place, and they really hone in on that. Tails, while being a little bit nervous, isn't a complete coward like how he's portrayed in Forces, and he steps up when he needs to and is competent on his own. Tails and Sonic's friendship is portrayed so well in this movie, and Colleen O'Shaughnessy actually voicing Tails like in the games is such a big dub for voice actors, which I wish more movies took note of. Knuckles is just as great, and he's even more of a return to form, because I think it's been a long time for me personally since Knuckles has actually felt cool and important in recent games. They go back to his original characterization of him being a hard-willed character with his own strong values, and while he isn't the brightest of the bunch, he isn't played out to be a complete moron like he is in Sonic Boom. Idris Elba's voice performance does wonders for this, and he gives Knuckles such a brooding energy to him that is so fun. Ben Schwartz and Jim Carrey also kill it with their roles again, and I honestly do think that they do a better job in this movie than they did in the first one. Jim Carrey in particular is so much fun with him being way more unhinged, and you can tell he's having a blast in every single scene that he's in. If this does actually end up being his last performance like how he stated, I'll be sad to not have him in this role again. But I really want to stress how much I loved seeing these incarnations of these characters. These characters were so fun to see interact with each other, and if we're not counting Sonic Mania, I don't think Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles' dynamic have been portrayed this well in anything since like Sonic Heroes? It's been a very long time, and I genuinely hope that future Sonic games and projects like the Sonic Prime Netflix show go back to how these characters were written in this movie. The characters themselves are fantastic, but it's not just them that make this feel like a real Sonic movie. The actual scenarios that they put these characters in are so fun, and unlike the first movie, Sonic and the gang don't just stay in one place, and the settings that they're placed in almost give me Sonic Adventure and Unleashed vibes of having Sonic run around in different locations and settings from across the globe, and this 100% goes for the action as well. There are so many nods and references to the series that take the shape of both fun, small nods and actual character motivations and stuff that's incorporated from the lore of the series. I was really surprised to see revisited again. No spoilers, but as a diehard Sonic fan, there are certain parts of this movie that make me jump out of my seat and squeal like a little kid because of how excited I was. And even if you're just a little bit of a Sonic fan, you will be just as excited. I went to a small theater for an early showing, and I really want to go out of my way to see it again with a bigger crowd because I need to have the crowd reactions for some certain scenes. This movie blows the first one out of the water, and it's not even close. It has everything that a Sonic fan could have asked for out of a movie, and it genuinely feels like it was made for fans of the series by focusing on the best parts of what makes the series and these characters so beloved. If you are a Sonic fan, you need to see this movie. It is such a love letter to the series, and even if you didn't like the first movie, this movie is way closer to what people would have actually have wanted out of a Sonic film. It's still insane to me looking back on the disaster that was that first trailer with the original horrid design, that we were able to get one of the best things to have ever come out of this franchise from that. And if you would have told me when I first saw that trailer that there would be eventually a whole Sonic cinematic universe with at least 3 movies and 1 show on Paramount Plus, I would have said you were crazy. But we are here now, and I am beyond excited for Sonic 3 whenever that comes out. There's so much passion for Sonic as a series within this movie, and there's no reason why that won't be there in the 3rd movie based on what happens in this one. I genuinely don't have the words to describe how hype and excited I am. But until then, I'm probably going to see this movie at least 2 more times in theaters. And if you haven't seen it yet, please go watch Sonic 2. It's so good.